My name is Will Burns. I'm the alderman of the 4th Ward, and I'm one of the co-chairs of the Minimum Wage Working Group. I want to welcome you all here to Roberto Clemente High School. This is our last public hearing. Our job is to come up with recommendations to the mayor and the Chicago City Council on a Chicago minimum wage and how that would be structured. So we're obviously interested in input from the public. It's a very important part of our process. It feels like 3 years ago, but in May, Mayor Rahm Emanuel announced the Minimum Wage Working Group, and we're supposed to come up with some recommendations on what a minimum wage would be for the city of Chicago. Why is an increase in the minimum wage something that's important? By historical standards, the value of the current minimum wage is fairly low. If the minimum wage that was on the books in 1968 were the minimum wage today, it would be worth somewhere around a little bit over $10 an hour. Living costs are going up for people in the city of Chicago, where people are struggling with rent, transportation, childcare, and we know that more people who had middle-class jobs and living wage jobs have been pushed into lower wage jobs as a consequence of the Great Recession. So where jobs are being created they've tended to be created in lower wage service sectors. The city of Seattle, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, increased their minimum wage to $15 an hour, does so in gradual steps over multiple years. There's a phase-in rate that's different for larger companies versus smaller companies. Washington, D.C. increased its minimum wage to $11.50 by 2016 and then froze the tip credit for those workers. San Francisco is at $10.74 an hour, although the idea is there's a movement in San Francisco to increase its minimum wage to $15 an hour. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with the ordinance that was introduced by the Raise Chicago Coalition to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour, again with a differential rate for larger businesses and smaller businesses. I just want to make very clear that there were no directions given to this group about what the minimum wage should be. We've been talking to experts, we've been talking to everyday people, we've been getting information, and all of us are working very hard to try to figure out how to do this and how to do it in a way that's fair for small businesses, fair for everyday people, and helps to reduce income inequality in the city of Chicago. So I just want to thank all the folks who come to these meetings, you in the audience, the people at the table, and their commitment to trying to help the people of the city of Chicago.